It's your day in tech history, and it's brought to you by our friends over at DJI. Get yourself your own drone by going over to geekazine.com/DJI. Jeffrey Powers here. I welcome you to the Day in Tech History, a full rundown of technology history 7 days a week. Subscribe to the show via iTunes, Stitcher, or download right from dayintechhistory.com. Now let's find out what happened on this day, your day in tech history. April 15th, 1912, the Titanic hit an iceberg and sank. 1,517 out of the 2,223 people on board did not survive. 1955, the first McDonald's opens in Des Plaines, Illinois. On the first day, the restaurant sold about $366.12 worth of 15-cent hamburgers and 10-cent French fries. 1970, Canon Business Machines of Japan announced the first handheld pocket calculator in a press release. The four-function Canon Pocketronic features a built-in printer and would cost $400. 1977, the first annual West Coast Computer Fair featured the debut of the Apple II, which featured a 16-kilobit memory, basic, a built-in keyboard, and 8 expansion slots. The price, $1,300. 1990, NASA deploys the Hubble Space Telescope, the first major orbiting observatory from Space Shuttle Discovery, into orbit at an altitude of 381 miles above Earth. Also in 1990, Apple Computer released the Macintosh 2 FX, featuring a 40 MHz Motorola 68030 processor for $9,900. 1996, Texas Instruments announced the Extensa 510, Extensa 570 CD, and 570 CDT Pentium-based notebook computers. In 1997, Disney Interactive laid off about 20% of their workforce and discontinued the in-house production of video games. And Samsung Electronics agreed to acquire the remaining 51% of AST Research for $5.40 per share, which would total about $170 million. 1998, Intel introduced the new line of Pentium II processors at 300, 400, and 266 megahertz Celeron processor. The 350 and 400 were regular processors. IBM unveiled the new line of personal computers, becoming one of the first companies to ship computers that integrate Intel's newest chips, the high-speed BX Core chipset. And Microsoft donates $100,000 to the Republican National Committee, the company's second sizable donation to the party within 60 days. And in 1999, Bleem released the Bleem PlayStation game emulator via download for Windows-based computers for $29.95. Gary Dale Hoke was arrested for posting a fabricated story on the internet that Peargain Technologies was the target of $1 billion corporate takeover. This would be a stock jump 31% for the company, which would go into his favor, and of course, the whole thing was revealed to be fraudulent. Ikenna Ifeth, a 27-year-old computer scientist at Northeastern University of Computer Science, obtains unauthorized access to a corporate internet account, which he used to illegally access systems at the U.S. Department of Defense's Logistics Agency and NASA. And a reported 800,000 copies of the Klez virus were in circulation. And now this word from our friends over at DJI Technologies. You know you want a drone. You're a techie kind of person. You like to have fun outdoors, and it is getting warmer now. It's kind of like when you were a kid and you got that first RC car, except this one flies. Connect the camera and record around your house. You can go to your park and put together some great videos of your kids playing ball, flying kites, and more. You can even get the ball or the kite's perspective. If you go over to geekazine.com/DJI, geekazine.com/DJI, you can get free shipping on that DJI Phantom II. It's the one that I have and use all around Madison here. Then go out to the park and have yourself some fun. Geeky fun with DJI Technologies and the Phantom II drone. Now let's get back into your day in tech history. 2004, the paper disc format was announced. Discs are a video format developed by Sony and Toppen Printing and were intended to succeed the DVD. They were 51% paper by weight. Version 4.3.6 of the PHP programming language was released, and version 9.5 of Maple, a popular general-purpose commercial mathematics software package, was also released. 2005, the first release of Damn Small Linux, version 1.0.1, was released. Damn Small Linux was a distribution of the open-source Linux operating system specifically designed to occupy as little hard drive space as possible. And Hewlett-Packard acquired Snapfish online photo service. 2008, Google Earth gets Street View added to their newest version. Microsoft buys Danger, a smartphone maker. It was purchased for an undisclosed price. And also in 2008, search engine rival Cuil, it's C-U-I-L, Cuil, launches. The founders and ex-Google employees raised $25 million for the startup. They, like I said, they were spelled cool, but took off one of the L. It was C-U-I-L-L, but took one L off. It was launched officially on July 28th, and then eventually Cuil was shut down, and I believe it was merged with Google. 2009, a study at Black Duck Software suggested that open source was worth about $387 billion in savings. AT&T launched a tracking feature for families. This allowed people using the same cell phone account to track the other's whereabouts. Also in 2009, Livio, a Wi-Fi radio appliance company, agreed to be the first to put out Pandora streaming radio in their device. The European Union called on the UK to toughen up and enforce data protection laws. This came after the BT's secret trials of Forms ad-serving technology was revealed. Virgin Mobile offered those who had been laid off a 3-month protection service, which they will pay for service during that time while they look for new jobs. Also in 2009, eBay agreed to buy out Gmarket from Yahoo for $1.2 billion, 10% of the company. And Domino's Pizza makes a public apology for a supposedly humorous video on YouTube of 2 Domino's employees in North Carolina who stuck cheese up their nose and violated health standards. The teens were fired and also arrested. In 2012, the FCC fined Google $25,000 for not responding in time for the company's data collection practices. And in 2013, Dish bid $25.5 billion for Sprint. Red Hat announced an RDO and OpenStack partner program to bring important tools to cloud application, resource monitoring, and more. And Kodak announced that they were selling their document imaging business to Brother for $210 million. And that's your Day in Tech History. My name is Jeffrey Powers, www.dayintechhistory.com. All the show notes are over at wikizine.com, Geekazine's wiki. And, of course, you can like the Facebook page and follow Twitter at Day in Tech Hist. Until tomorrow, take care. Day in Tech History is copyright 2015, JMP Enterprise and Geekazine.com.